Good morning, Bernard. It's good to
Good,
have you back
good
and,
morning, Dr. Priscilla.
and to hear your wonderful news. So
Yes.
today we're going to read us a little bit about the Tun Mun protests. We just watched a video of the older men, retired men, in the park where these women are, and they're called older ladies. Are I think one of my students told me that these ladies are coming, they're called aunties, they're coming there and they're dancing, and the gentlemen that are paying them the money, they're taking money that they need to buy medicine and take care of themselves with, and giving it to the ladies in the park. All right, and these people here are out protesting on this particular day because at the park should be for the children to play, but the men and the women are just there doing their thing. All right, I'm
Yes,
going to ask
yes,
you to
but
start.
I didn't understand why. uh, who protest? The men, the old
No, no,
men
no.
protest,
The
or
people,
the dancer?
the people with children, because they can't go to the park and let their children play
Yes, but why the dancers and the old men were in the park?
because they don't have any rules against that type of display. Or if they do have rules, the police aren't doing anything to stop them from doing it. We'll find out.
Okay.
A park. Could you read, Bernard?
No, I can read it. I just see
Oh, do you see it?
I see a picture of a man.
Oh no, let me stop sharing and share again then. Now do you see it?
Okay,
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 so all of these people are the ones that are protesting.
okay.
Okay.
The okay. Protest Tun Mun becomes latest protest flashpoint as thousands rally against dancing auntie in local park. What does it mean, aunties?
Well, those were the older women. They're not young girls. They're middle-aged women out doing the dancing.
Okay. A park in Tuen Mun became the latest protest flashpoint on Saturday as thousands marched in opposition to middle-aged female performers accused of causing a disturbance in the neighborhood. The march escalated the late afternoon, with the police using pepper spray and protesters gathering outside the police station.
Protesters.
Protesters.
Mhm. Okay.
The Tuen Mun Park sanitation concern groups, which helped organize the event, demanded that the Leisure and Cultural Services Department tackle the problem of noise pollution, ban obscene activities and beggars, and to make sure the public space can be used by people of different age groups. Group Convener Michael Mu criticized the Daime.
And
That,
those the dama are the same as the older women. They are the aunties. It's another name for auntie.
okay. Cantonese slang for the mid-aged women who sing and dance to Putongwa pop song in the self-entertainment zone of the park. Their audience often consists of elderly men, some of whom offer money to the women as donation. The day mass of Tuen Mun Park have caused a lot of nuisance to residents and park goers, including problems of noise, as well as alleged begging and sex work, Mao said. The LCSD is not enforcing the existing regulation and is turning a blind eye, which only makes matters worse.
Okay. So there are rules apparently, but the government isn't, or the police or the authorities are not enforcing it.
Is it in Hong Kong or in China? It's in
It's
Hong
in,
Kong.
it's in Hong Kong.
But in fact, the dancers are not old women, they are young women.
Yeah, but they're not 19. They're not teenagers. They're middle age. Middle age. They're about 40. My student said that they're about 40 years of age.
Yes, because in the article they said it was the older women. It's not, they are not older women.
Yeah, that was those were older girls. Well, maybe they were 30. Maybe they were about 30. But you know, to me the Orientals do not show their age. They don't look as old as they are. They look very young.
Okay. Protesters started marching at around 3 p.m. from the nearby So Woolen playground
No,
and
nearby.
nearby, and police opened up the Tun Mun Dancers view road to accommodate the large crowds. Organizers initially told the police to expect 200 people, but said after the march that over 10,000 people showed up. Police put the peak turnout figure at 1,800. Many of the slogans satirized those who watched Deme performances. One read, Tuen Mung Park has a lot of lectures, this scarce of youngers. Other placards read, Reclaim Tuen Mun. Heated arguments broke out between protesters and some elderly men at the park and
Protesters with an S.
protesters
Protesters.
and crowds surrounded the public toilet after one suspected they may escaped inside.
Mm-hmm. We'll read this last one.
Okay. Hundreds of protesters taunted the women inside the public toilet by shouting, perform, and waving catch and red packets. I don't know. The standoff lasted over 2 hours, and the women had to be escorted out by the police at around 6:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm. So one lady was trying to get away from the protesters, and she went inside of a public toilet to hide. But they were taunting her, "Come out, come out!"
What
As if
does it mean, taunting? Taunting.
it's like being bullying someone.
Okay.
Do you know the word bully?
Uh, it's harass something.
Yes, harassing, and taunting is the same as harassing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
But what I didn't understand why these elderly women do that to earn money to.
yes. Remember, if you saw the video about the way the living conditions, or if you saw the one about the people who sleeps in McDonald's, that it seems that they're extremely poor in Hong Kong. At least this group of people are. And these middle-aged women do not work. That is their work, to go to the park, dance for the older people, collect the money, and then they can pay for their food and clothes or whatever it is that they need. The
In fact,
problem is the
in
older men are using their Social Security monies instead of using it to take care of themselves.
mm, it seems that these women are
Mhm.
like I don't know exactly the name in English, prostitutes.
Yes, and that's what they were saying earlier, that they're selling sex. They
Ah,
don't,
okay,
they're
okay,
not doing it right there in the public, but if someone offers them money for sex, I guess they would go someplace else.
okay, okay. And the population in Hong Kong, some of the population are very hungry because they said we can't do in this park because the meeting every day are so obscene that we can't go to the park with our children.
Exactly. They're performing obscene acts in the park. As we
Oh,
saw from the video, the
okay.
old man is going to have a heart attack trying to dance with those girls for so I guess sometimes when people get older, it doesn't mean that they stop having feelings. They just are older.
Mhm.
And perhaps he doesn't even have someone to take care of him at home. He's home alone. And now he is getting some attention. So what is a protester? What is a protester?
A protester is someone who is not agree with a situation or with a law and try to complain and manifest against the government or against the organizer of
Mhm.
the meeting.
Very good. And we had disturbance.
Disturbance is an action who create problems or noise or other different problems, and it's called disturbance.
Okay, yes, something that is creating an atmosphere that is not calm.
Yes.
And we had noise pollution. This is a new way to talk about pollution. When they mention noise pollution, what does it mean to have noise pollution?
Noise pollution is a disturbance caused by the noise of people, of the dogs, of the animals, of the cars in a
Okay,
place.
very
And
good.
because of this noise, we can sleep very well if you're in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
uh, for example.
Okay, good. And alleged begging. Alleged begging.
Begging, you're a beggar when you ask money to the people in the street in order to eat,
Hmm.
or and alleged begging, uh, they're supposed to beg.
Hmm.
The women who manifest, who dance in the park, are supposed by the police alleged begging.
Right. And alleged means that we can't prove it. You can't prove that they're doing it. So they're just saying alleged. But if they see them ask for money, these women aren't asking for money. The man is giving the money, and he calls it a donation. In something that I read, they call it a donation. But this is a huge amount of people that are protesting what the women and the men are doing in the park. And here is this may very well be one of the dancers here.
Yes, yes.
Although she looks like she's fully dressed, she's not provocatively dressed.
No.
However, since I see her standing with the police
Uh,
authority, she may be a person. Okay, so in your country, do you have anything as obscene as this? Most likely, every country has its share of prostitutes, but are they open as
yes, I suppose it was the same thing in France in a park. I suppose we don't have a meeting with so much people.
mhm,
People surely will laugh about that. Perhaps there will be some protester, some radical protester, people who are very against the sex, against the provocation. But
mhm.
I suppose that the majority of people don't take care about that, I suppose.
Um, they probably care, but what happens is not as many people are doing it so openly as they are doing it in Hong Kong. It's a little more discreet. I think, than what we just saw there in Hong Kong. Okay, well, that would be all that I would share with you about the dancers. You do have the complete article if you wish to read more about them, but it just says that there is a huge displeasure with the park being taken over by the aunties who are dancing and perhaps selling their bodies to anyone that is willing to pay. To some extent, I do understand the living conditions are so horrendous in Hong Kong, in some parts of Hong Kong.
Oh yes, I remember the article you
Hmm.
sent 2 days ago.
And
Mm.
people really don't have monies
Yeah.
enough to eat, feed their family,
Okay.
provide a shelter, that they have to take extreme measures to get money. Unfortunately, the people that are giving the money are those who need their money to take care of themselves, and that would be the elderly.
Right.
Say, for example, my mom is elderly, and people would call her on the phone, and if she could help them, she would help them. But those phone calls were usually scams. It wasn't a legitimate cause that someone was calling about to ask for help. Okay. All
Okay.
right. I will stop the recording.